What is going on, guys? Time for another EEDC News, Episode 3. Today we're going to be talking about what was in the pocket. We'll start with that. Then we're going to go to some new knives that just dropped on Blade HQ that piqued my interest. There's not much out there these days. These ones did. Last, I'm going to give 4 quick reviews on some new knives that I actually brought up in Episode 1 that I ended up getting my hands on, and some I love, some I don't. But we'll go over some quick reviews to give you guys the lowdown if you're interested in getting them. So to start out with, what was in my pocket today? In my 5th pocket, I was carrying my Leatherman K2 or T2, free T2. I'm not going to drone on about this, but this is an awesome 5th pocket knife. Has a couple extra tools if you need them. Pretty cool. The main one was my MBK Old Guard Micarta and ZDP jacketed with, I think it's 440C. It might even be 440J as the jacket, but it's basically a sand my construction. You can kind of see right here. Oh man, this is a super cool knife. At first I was like bare bones basic. I'm not too excited about it. Wait till the end because I'm going to be doing a quick review on this guy along with some others. Since we're doing pocket dumps, what's in your pocket? Leave it in the comments below. So on to some new knives that dropped at Blade HQ that piqued my interest. First and foremost is the Best Tech Tonic. Now this is a lockback knife for 300 bones, but Best Tech does great work, so I have faith that they're making the action pretty awesome. It does come with thumb studs, M390, and this sweet overlay. In fact, the carbon fiber version, which I believe is $20 more than the others, most of them are $290, I think this one's $310, looks absolutely sick. Do you need it? No. Do I want it? Kinda. Next on the list is the Boker Aluma. Now this one, you guys are gonna probably put some fire on me for because it is D2 at like $100. Now I know the stigma, I know I'm not paying that much for that blade steel, whatever. This is unique. It is a aluminum liner lock with what appears to be like a wooden inlay in there, and it just looks oh so cool. And last on the list is the Terzola Tactical ATCF. Now, the reason this one piqued my interest a little bit is that I haven't really been too interested in Terzola's designs. Mad respect to them, they just don't speak to me like others do. I mean, some people are like Ray Laconico's boring, and I think they're fantastic, right? But this one looks cool. It does have G10 and Nitro V blade steel, and I believe it's coming in, let me double check, but I think it's coming in between $70 and $90. For the blade steel and G10, okay, but the design looks really cool. It's a 3-inch blade, so it's like in that range that makes sense to carry, but still large enough to get most tasks done. Let's get on to my 4 fast knife reviews. Let's start out with one that you guys probably aren't expecting to be on this list, and this is the Erik Ochs Solar Storm. Now, I checked out the Ochs Works, I don't remember the damn name of it, but it looked so similar to this, only it was more of a drop point style blade, which kind of turned out to be relatively stabby looking because of this relatively narrow design. This one spoke to me because I'm a sheep's foot sucker. I got the micarta inlay, which happens to be the cheapest, but I genuinely enjoy it, and they actually made it match on both sides, which is cool. This is a frame lock, but it's kind of like that sub frame lock or the bolster lock style. In hand, it feels pretty darn good for such a thin knife. This blade is the perfect length to get detailed work done, but you still have a lot of blade length to actually get some long slicing tasks. It fits in your pocket pretty darn well, and the action is breaking in backwards. The action is breaking in oh so smooth. It's not drop shut, but it's a super light blade, but you don't even feel it. Check out this pocket clip. That's pretty damn cool too. This pocket clip's a milled pocket clip, and everything, it even matches like the bolster area. You kind of see like this arrow style pattern. Very cool. Actually really enjoy this guy. Next, we're gonna talk about the MBK Old Guard Micarta and ZDP 189, jacketed with that 440 whatever. Probably to add a little bit of strength and toughness to it with the 440, because this ZDP is heat treated to 66 to 67 Rockwell. Now, ZDP is one of those steels that you can get away with a much higher range in Rockwell, so it's a little bit easier to heat treat at higher ranges. but that is gonna mean that this edge is gonna be oh so resistant to wear. It's just, and you're gonna be able to sharpen it like, it's gonna have so much bite. This thing has a lot of bite. It's really, really cool. Now, if you remember the Old Guard, it was a huge hit. We talked about Ray Laconico, right? Kind of forgot that I brought that up, but this is a Ray Laconico designed by MBK. Now, this has stainless steel liners that are milled out on the inside, a titanium pocket clip that is milled, it's nice. We have a titanium backspacer, which is cool. Lanyard hole, it is what it is. The action, it is on phosphor bronze, but you guys see that? With just a little flick, it's breaking in awesome. In hand, this thing feels great. You have so much blade length to get done what you need to get done there. And this feels like a basic knife. This is coming in at like 200 bucks. But the ZDP 189 makes it well worth it. This is gonna be one of those blades that you can pretty much carry forever, and it's gonna hold its edge for a really, really long time. It's just really cool. Next on the list is my mini Malice. Now, I don't wanna end this with a slightly disappointed feeling, so that's why this is going second to last. Now, I am not actually disappointed with this knife. I think this is super cool, probably my second favorite button lock almost of all time, just because I'm a Malice fanboy. I love the aesthetic. The aesthetic looks great. The ergonomics of this are incredible. Titanium, we got some milled titanium on the inside. There's holes, so it has all this great relief. It's very rounded like the original Malice. Imagine a Malice shrunken down. Now, I brought this up before though. It's hard to shrink down the Malice because what makes the Malice a Malice is that it's beefy in your hand. I don't get the Malice feel out of this. The fact that they made it a button lock is the only reason that it might stay in my collection, just because it's a little unique. I don't have any other button locks. I have the Elementum, and I think that's it. I got rid of all my other button locks. So this is a titanium flipper with M390 blade steel, coming in at like 240 bucks. And is it worth it? I mean, I think so. As a Malice fanboy, I had to get it. As a button lock with M390 and titanium, with all the contouring and milling that they did here, this finish work is so good. That pocket clip is just generic, but it fits the design. I think it's worth it. But understand that when you're getting this, you're not really getting a Malice feel. You're getting more of the Civivi Odium feel, maybe a little bit more beefy, but you're getting more of an Odium feel than you are a Malice. It's just small. It works, and there's no issue with it, but when you're expecting Malice and you get small, it doesn't necessarily fit the bill. Last, and one that I am oh so impressed with, is the Benchmade Redoubt. Now this is quite possibly my most anticipated knife of 2022 because it's been looming in front of our faces for like 5 freaking months and nobody knew it when it was gonna drop. But I can tell you, action out of the box, phenomenal. Coming in the CPM D2 blade steel, which is great because it's gonna actually be a little bit more edge resistant, or resist edge wearing, or it's gonna resist wear just a little bit more because those carbides, while they're gonna be finer, they're gonna be more uniform across this blade shape. So you're not gonna have, say, a big blob of carbide here and a big blob there, so that when it actually does hit something, that whole carbide tears out and you're gonna get a giant chip in your blade with regular D2. CPM D2, you're not gonna get that. I'm not gonna tell you it's more tough necessarily. I'm just gonna tell you it's gonna resist that carbide tear out just a little bit more. This finish, I don't know what it is, but it's texturous on here, and it's actually really cool. And being the fact that CPM D2 is no more stain resistant than regular D2, I don't think, it's a good thing that they put the coating on there. Onto the handle, which most people hate because it's an FRN handle, and normally I do too. The reason I like this so much is that the ergonomics are incredible, and there's something about FRN that makes me say, hey, I really want to use this knife. It's something that I don't care if it's a user, I'll just toss it across the table. I'm not worried about scratching. And I understand that I'm justifying a less premium material for a $160 price point, but there's some value in that to me. When I carry a Spyderco lightweight, I'm actually like, yo, this is cool. Here, take it, right? I don't throw it open, obviously, stab somebody in the jugular.
Attempted murder, huh?
Oh, what was that?
But All in all, the action on this is great. The ergonomics of this are really, really good. I'm super impressed that they put CPM D2 on there because, frankly, D2 is actually pretty good. We just got tired of it. You know, it kept coming, and you're like, enough. Well, the CPM D2 is a cool mix-up. It's a relatively premium blade steel. There's an argument to be had that XHP is basically a stainless D2. You have D2, and then you have CPM D2, which is basically a better wear-resistant D2, adding superficial toughness with the carbides being a little bit smaller. But I like it. There's something about it that's unique because you don't see it that much, so it kind of makes it cool to have in your collection. This is a knife that's not going anywhere. It came... the edge was polished, but it was still a toothy edge from Benchmade. The centering came pretty darn perfect. Another complaint that I might have about it is when you squeeze it, you might want to go through and tighten your screws down a little bit because this FRN jacketed around this other FRN or Grivery, whatever the hell it is, you can kind of feel it click, right? I know it's not going to break, but you feel it click. So you might want to just tighten it up. But for 160 bucks, I think this is a steal from Benchmade considering their normal prices. And realistically, if you like the bug out, if you like the Super Freak, and if you like the Griptilian, this is kind of basically just a hybrid of all three of those into a sleeker knife. The Super Freak's a little bit more beefy, a little bit more bulky in your pocket. This basically takes the place of all three of those in that it's a little bit thicker than the bug out, a little bit thinner than the Super Freak, around the same size as the Griptilian, but not as bulky as the Griptilian. So it's going to be easier to carry. And they have a deep carry pocket clip, which isn't their normal because they actually have it put into here. So it's ultra deep carry. Pretty freaking cool. If you made it this far and you're not subscribed, that's cool. If you want to subscribe, do it. If not, cool too. Have a great day, guys.